Hello everybody, I'm Omesta. You may remember me from various points throughout this marathon so far. I am excited to bring you the finale run. We have Outer Wilds 100%. This is one of my favorite games just ever, and this category is very fun, so buckle up because we're in for a good one and a long one. It is 100%, so we will be, basically what that means for this run is we'll be collecting all the ship's logs, and by the way, the timer will begin once I push the E key here in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so we're collecting all of the logs. It's not going to be all of that spoilery. You will see a lot of things in the game, but trust me, you're not going to know what's going on, really, if you haven't played this game already. I would highly recommend that everyone go play this game as soon as possible. The first thing that I'm doing here is a trick called Geyser Skip, which is very precise, and this is actually kind of an older and slower way to do it, but it's a little bit easier, more reliable to pull off if you're not amazing at the game, which I'm not. So I'm going to enter the geyser here at just the right time. Oh, and that's about as close as you can get to getting it without getting it. So this may take me a couple of tries. It's an extremely precise trick. Essentially what you're doing is walking into the geyser. First of all, you have to position yourself in such a way that you walk in at the correct angle, which is what I'm doing all the way up until that point. And then you basically have to hold your your forward motion key W for pretty much exactly 1 second. So I have my own timer up here on the side because it's that precise, and I need to enter in when that timer hits 38 seconds, and I need to stop holding W when it hits 39 seconds, and that will land me gracefully on top of the landing pad if I do it correctly. You've got to be kidding me. These have both been very, very close. Don't worry, it doesn't usually take me more than 3 tries, but then of course that's what happens in a marathon. It's a good thing we're ahead of schedule. And this is not RNG at all. The geyser starts at exactly 31 seconds into the game after waking up, and I want to be entering in at pretty much exactly 38 seconds and holding until pretty much exactly 39 seconds. And this basically skips me having to walk through this whole village and like do the tutorial stuff that the game wants me to do. Just not interested. Might have been early. Yeah, like I said, very precise. Sorry about this. We'll get it going, I promise. This, in particular, this one trick is primarily why the estimate is so long. Like, it is a long run on its own, but it really is just making sure that we get this going. There are alternatives. Like I said, there are faster ways to do them, but they to do this trick. But it requires like frame-perfect inputs from keyboard to controller. Like, you basically have to do a weird frame-perfect double jump with 2 different inputs. It's kind of wild. It's kind of Outer Wilds. So I'm not interested at this current time. I'm going to do it this way, and it's going to work this time. Oh no, that was too late. That was too late. Absolute worst case scenario, if I don't get it after this next try or the next one, I can just kind of run through somewhat quickly this whole area, but the geyser skip is cool and I want everyone to see it. As you can guess by me jumping on my friend's head there and hopping over the wall, this is not really... You're not intended to be able to do this immediately by the design of the game. We're cheating a little bit. But it only kind of works because of how the game treats its physics. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. We're so close! Okay, I'm going to give it one more try. If it doesn't work, we're going to take the long way, and you guys will just have to trust me that it's cool. It actually does save a lot of time as well. It skips a couple of cutscenes. In fact, I'm going to have to do things a little bit differently if it doesn't work out this time than I normally would. So that'll be fun. So we want to line up like right around there. It doesn't need to be like perfect on this lineup. I'm just kind of trying to get down to this angle so I can line up with this right side of the lamp and look above this lamppost. And that's not the part that's mega precise. It really is the timing. Okay, well that's unfortunate. Let's see. No, I'm definitely going to die, so we'll just reset things. That's faster. Anyway, so what that would normally allow us to do is get up to our ship immediately, which gives us access to our spacesuit and our, and as a result, our jetpack and our scout launcher, which are huge mobility tools. And you'll see exactly why as soon as I can actually get access to them. So we can use that mobility to basically get up to the observatory, which is where our immediate objective is. Basically, we're trying to get up to the top here so we can learn what we're supposed to do and get the launch codes to basically just allow us to get up to our ship without having to jump through a geyser, which is, in my opinion, a lot less fun. But I guess it's safer or whatever. And the bright side of this is we get to take a nice long look at our beautiful home planet Timber Hearth. We're of a species called the Hearthians. We're all these kind of like four-eyed, fishy kind of people. And they just have an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. And they have a space program called the Outer Wilds program. And it's basically just like they're sending out, scouts into space to just kind of like see what's out there. This is one thing. Never mind, that doesn't happen until later. So I'm getting my my timing mixed up because the trick isn't working. That's okay though. We need to talk to you, and you may be wondering why this is all in Russian, and that is because once we have our spacesuit, another tool that we have at our disposal is, at least try to get close to it, is a translating device. This statue is a statue created by an ancient alien species that kind of captures the curiosity of the Hearthians, called the Nomai, and they've built a device that can translate their written texts that have been discovered throughout the solar system. And so once we use that thing, that translator, it will it just translates faster in Russian for whatever reason. Like, it almost instantly will translate, and because a large part of the run is translating and reading specific lines of text, it speeds things up substantially over the course of the whole thing. So we're just taking a little nap here, and then we're still a little bit sleepy after the nap, so we're going to take another slightly warmer nap just here. And this is basically, it triggers one of the things in our ship's log, and then it also skips a conversation that would trigger otherwise if we didn't already have two naps taken. It just skips a very short conversation that we no longer have to have. And now the run truly begins. So after all of that, we can finally take the elevator up to our ship. We have full free access to it for the rest of the run, which is wonderful because it's pretty important. There's our spacesuit. So our first stop is this place called Giant's Deep. Well, more accurately, we're actually going to the broken orbital cannon that's orbiting Giant's Deep. And then we'll go down Giant's Deep afterwards, don't you worry. We're going to see almost every... I'm trying to think. I think we see pretty much every location in the game throughout the run. And there's some pretty cool things to see, which is what made me interested in running the 100% route to begin with. Because if you know how to beat the game, it has kind of a knowledge-based progression where if you know the thing to do, you can beat the game within minutes, no problem. Like, I could go beat the game right now. And while that's cool, and it makes for an interesting speedrun in its own right, I kind of wanted a game or a run that would show off more of what Outer Wilds is about, because, again, I just love this game. And if you're watching this and you're still kind of not sure what kind of game this is, I kind of lump it into the same category as like a Myst or that sort of thing, where it's, you know, a narrative puzzle adventure kind of deal. And actually, let's start up here. And so we're just kind of exploring the solar system and learning about what's going on. Again, I'm not going to go too much into the details of things because I want you to go play it for yourself. You can let that do its thing for a moment. Here we go. Move this over here. Now we'll go back and read this. And like I said, we're trying to read very specific lines. You'll notice that even though this is a 100% category, I'm not reading every single thing. And that's because there are only specific actions and texts that you can read and things to look at that will actually trigger ship's log entries, which is the you know, the whole point of the 100% run. So I found that kind of interesting, that you can basically you can play 100% of the game without really getting the whole picture, and especially if you're playing it in a language that you don't know, for instance, that makes it even easier to not know what's going on. So basically, I have a big list of notes off to the side here that's telling me which of these things to read, because I just don't have that memorized, because there's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of reading in this game, which is why that Russian translation helps out a lot. But we're done on the orbital cannon. We're heading down now to Giant's Deep proper, and I'm going to try to land at the North Pole. So I'm just going to try to find the top of this sphere, which I think is right around here. Oh, I was wrong. I'm on the bottom. That's fine. Spheres are tricky like that. Basically, we're trying to get inside of this big old storm here by going up and over it. Giant's Deep is a big, if you haven't noticed, it's just kind of like a big storm planet. Oh, okay, that's fine. Ship's taking a little bit of damage, but that doesn't bother me. Especially since I can't even read what's broken, so it's probably fine. You know, if I can't read it, it's not a real problem. So the other thing about Giant's Deep is that you'll see at the bottom left of the screen I have a number that says 1.8 times, 1.9 times. Basically, the gravity on this planet is roughly double what we're used to on our home planet of Timber Hearth. So moving around is a lot slower, which is why you're going to see me do a lot of this scout boosting, which is this kind of act of using the momentum that's created when I fire this little scout guy to push me back ever so slightly, and then using my thrusters here on my jetpack to basically just give me a big push in whatever direction I need to go. So let's do... shoot back here. Yep, okay, cool. This is the Tower of Quantum Trials. I'm not really going to explain much about it. All I'll say really is that the game has... I'm going to do this the slow and safe way. The game has a very specific, like, internal set of physics and basically, yeah, just physics that it kind of enforces and relies upon. So all of the astral bodies, all the planets, the sun, everything in the game is kind of doing a it's... oh, that's unfortunate. It's fully simulated, and it runs kind of on its own clock every time you play the game. So some things are predictable and some things are consistent, and they have a special set of quantum mechanics, essentially, and that's kind of what we're being told about here. But yeah, learning how the physics work in this solar system, in this crazy environment that we're in, is a big part of the game. Ooh, okay, let's. So this is a bit rough, and I'm not super great at this part, but we're past it. And we're gonna blink, blink, nice. So what you saw me do there was a thing called blinking, and that's sort of one way of manipulating those quantum mechanics that I mentioned. Basically, by looking at something and then looking away from something, we can affect certain quantumly entangled objects and kind of manipulate where they are in some cases. And you'll see a lot of that throughout the game, basically. It's a bit of a puzzle theme. So we're done there. We've seen everything we need to see at the North Pole. We're going to stop at a few islands on the way, because we're not quite done on this planet. This one can be tricky. You want to make sure you land in a safe spot. It's very easy to get caught. Should be fine. And I'm going to scout boost over to this other side. No problem. On this one I need to read the whole thing. Every piece of text. Okay. Just the first line on that one. Ooh, nice. Okay, that jump is kind of tricky. First line on this scroll, and we are on to the next island. Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, that went from really bad to, or sorry, really good to not so great, but oh well. The mechanics, the movement tech that we use. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This happens sometimes. Give it a second. This is what I was saying when I this is what I was talking about when I said you have to be careful about where you land here. This has a way of working itself out, though. Let's see here. Alright, well, I guess I'm going back in. Just kind of have to jostle yourself around. Yeah, hang on. In case you haven't guessed, this is a fairly difficult speedrun. Oh, we're so close. So close to freedom. Let me out of here. Oh no. Wow, okay, I like got free and then I got stuck again. And I'm so close to being out of here. See, one thing that can happen, well, maybe I'll leave it as a surprise in case it does. It's not likely to, but there is one way that we're kind of guaranteed to be free at some point, if I'm not able to get out myself. Oh, I was so close. Just give me a little space here. The geometry on these rocks is just so odd. Oh, it's happening, I think. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We're in space. This should... Is this not going to help me out? You're not going to let me go? We might just die then, which, I mean, it would get me out of here. Oh, that didn't kill me. Okay, well, now this is another problem. And I'm debating whether or not I want to reset the loop. Because this ship is not, it's not coming loose. And I've wasted a lot of time here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That's fine. So the nice thing about Outer Wilds is that so I won't have lost any of the ship's log stuff that I had already collected there. So I don't have to redo everything that I just did. I basically need to just move on to the next thing that I was going to do, which in this case is continue going from island to island on Giant's Deep. Giant's Deep. And the nice thing about this part is that I don't have to be especially careful about how I enter the planet this time. Doesn't matter if I come in. In fact, I don't want to come in on the North Pole. That would make this a little bit slower. Alright, what do we got? Show me Bramble Island, please. Okay. It's not Bramble, but I'll take this one. This will work as well. Whoa. So this game, as I've kind of been talking about this whole time, is pretty loaded with tech. You'll see whenever I'm trying to land the ship anywhere, I'm trying to kind of land it in such a way where at least one of the 3 legs is not fully like flat on the ground, and that's because there's the animation that plays, the kind of like firing up the engines animation and sound effect that plays when you are not fully stable on the ground is just way shorter. It's practically instant, and that's just kind of one of the many optimizations and sort of. Oh wow, that is so unlucky. Oh no. Okay, hang on, I can save this. Oh, I forgot. Oh, no. Okay. This could be bad. It's fine. I got out. Wow, this has not been a very fortunate run so far. But hey, we got what we needed out of that island anyway, so that's fine. I want to skip this island for now. There's one island I really need to find first. Yeah, basically what you saw is these, like, cyclones that are on the planet, they can just... Anytime they come into contact with these islands, they can just pick them up and throw them into space, which has happened to us twice now. And it is also a funny thing where if you're extremely unfortunate, you can just... Oh, hang on. Okay. You can just be flying along, you know, minding your own business, and an island can just land on top of your head. That's kind of the chaos of the run a little bit. Okay, we have one more island. Oh god. No, I'm not stuck here too. Don't do this game. Oh, that's unbelievable. Hang on. This one should be more workable. That looks like that's going to be bad. I'm also worried about whatever's damaged on the ship. If that's like the fuel or whatever, then that could be bad. Let me think. It might also be possible, however difficult, to do this shipless. Which is its own entire category, by the way. You can do pretty much everything in this game. There we go, we're good. Without ever using your ship. It's pretty incredible to see. Okay, one more island. Here it is. Oh, come on. Oh, do not pick this island up. There's no way. At least let me talk to this guy first. Oh my god. Alright, back to the ship. I mean, this is amazingly unlucky. Alright, come on. Come on back down. Alright, are you done? Can I talk to my friend now? It's so rude. Okay, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to say a few words in Russian to my good friend. Alright, now we've got really one more thing that we need to do on this planet. And we need to find a specific way to do it. I think this is our ticket right here. Okay, excellent. Oh, I see a good jellyfish there. I like the look of that jellyfish. I'm going for it. It's the first good thing that's happened all run. I'm not taking questions about what's happening right now. Go play the game. That really is the point of this run, is I want to convince people to go play the game. Like, look at this, see what you're missing. Now go figure out what it's about, because it's a trip. It's incredible. You don't have to play it in Russian. I mean, unless you just want to. Unless you speak Russian. Then go for it. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of the same thing you saw me do when we were in the orbital cannon. Oh, that's the wrong one. We want this one. Do just the first line of that is fine. We have to wait for this. Whoa. Whoa, what's going on with my gravity? Okay. Hang on. I can do this. I'm an astronaut. Okay. We need to... Oh, no, 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 no! Ooh, that's not great. That animation takes a while to play out. You have to be very careful because these blue orb things that you see me using to kind of interact with things like open doors and activate light switches and stuff like that, you interact with them by looking at them and then moving your camera to wherever you want them to go. So if you're not careful and you happen to be floating around in zero gravity or something dumb like that, you can accidentally activate them and move them around when you don't mean to. So we'll wait for this one to play out. We just need to read the bottom ring on here, and then we will quit to the menu. And that's kind of everything that we need to do on Giants Deep. So the run is sort of structured in a way where you basically do everything that you need to do for one location for the most part, and then you basically reset the game and then do stuff for the next one. So next we're going to Brittle Hollow. This is the biggest, longest, scariest split. It's kind of the most densely packed with weird jumps and knowing what you have to read and all kinds of stuff. It's also, you just go to a lot of places and do a lot of things. So we're going to head that direction. But first we actually want to go to its volcanic moon, the Hollow's Lantern. We have one quick thing we need to do there, if you can believe it. And a big part of the run, as well as the ship flying mechanics. Like I said, everything in the game kind of behaves to its own internal laws of physics. And they try to closely simulate realistic-ish physics, but you can only do so much there. So whenever you're flying a ship, you have to realize you're accelerating in the vacuum of space, so there's nothing pushing back against you. So if you continue to accelerate, you're going to continue to go faster, and it's going to at a certain point become impossible for you to slow down in time. So the flight mechanics of the game, which as you can see are a large part of the game, definitely do have a learning curve to them. And they have tools and things to make it easier for you. But it's also, consequentially a huge part of the speedrun. You want to be flying to places fast, but you can't be reckless because you'll crash and you'll die, and you'll take longer. So it's an interesting, it's a very unique kind of skill set when it comes to speedrunning, I feel like. I don't know of any other game that kind of has this sort of duality of adventure game and also flight sim. Oh, okay, am I stuck? So I ideally want to park on this thing, but still be able to get out. There we go, that's what I wanted. I'm just going to read all of the text on this wall, and then we can get out of here. There we go. Where is the next thing? I hope it's this way. It's not. The good thing about these planets is that they're pretty small. You can get around them fairly quickly. Should be over here. Yep, there it is. So these trees are an excellent place to land, because it counts as not being on the ground, even though your ship rests in a fairly flat and easy to return to position. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Alright, got all that? There will be a quiz later. Make sure you're taking notes. Just need to read one of those logs. Whoa. And now we get to see Brittle Hollow in all its terrifying glory. So basically this is a planet that's got a black hole as its core somehow, and it's now actively falling apart under that pressure, under that gravity. So we're trying to explore all of the relevant parts. Get all these? Okay, I think so. And fill up our log before it all falls apart. So that's all we needed down here. Alright, cool. Next, we're going to a very special location. I'm not gonna give too many details, but I'm gonna have to blink to get there. Hopefully not too many times. Hey, got pretty lucky. Just for safety. Okay. Alright, we're gonna stop on this mysterious gray marble. And it's fine that the ship is broken now. I don't really need it for the rest of the split. I don't care. We just have a few things we need to do on this place before we get back to... Here we go. Before we get back to Brittle Hollow. Here's some very important text that gives you a lot of late game knowledge and helps you solve puzzles, super late game puzzles. We're just gonna look at that and leave. And then we're doing a fun trick here. We can do a little out of bounds ridiculousness to clip through the place that we're at and go kind of under the whole geometry of this planetoid thing. And we're gonna find, we're gonna find our friend Solanum here. Hello, Solanum. And then we realize that we can't communicate with Solanum, so they're going to, or she's going to, very helpfully create a system of communication for us. We're going to use a very specific set of these things. We're going to get a couple answers, and then we're going to leave. Okay. Excellent. One more. Alright, we're done. See ya. Bye, Solanum. Just gonna jump on out of here. And now we're looking for a shuttle. It's gonna be our ticket back to Brittle Hollow. And it is pretty random where it'll show up. Sometimes it shows up right away. There we go. Sometimes you gotta hunt for it. Okay, nice. Don't worry about any of that. If you want to know what just happened, go play the game. I'm not here to explain what's happening. I'm just here to show you how cool it looks. Oh, and how bad I am at it. Okay. Cool. Coming up here, we want to grab this guy. Excellent. And now we're going to jump. This is a trickier jump. Not the hardest the game has to offer, but one of them. And I think I've got away with it. Yeah, we're good. Could have executed slightly better, but we got the job done. And oh no. Oh, are we too late? Let's see. Let's see if we're too late. Basically, this part of the planet that we're on is going to fall into the black hole soon. Okay, I think I got everything I needed. Ooh, like that. Whoa. Alright, let's go ahead and take a second to talk to our good friend Ryback here and fill up our fuel. Oops, that's too many things. Cool. Bye, Ryback. Into the black hole we go. You would think that would kill us, but no. It actually just shoots us out over here. Don't worry about it. But believe it or not, we're still not done on Brittle Hollow. Oops, I overshot that a little bit. There are still things that need to be done. And I still have a way to get back. Gonna activate this thing. I want to make sure we read these two lines and then stand right here. Nice. I'm just going to top myself off for safety here. We have a couple lines of text we need to read. That one. We need to read almost all of this one. In fact, I'm just going to cover... Yeah, that definitely got it. Whoop. Nice. And back into the depths of Brittle Hollow we go. Like I said, this is one of the bigger splits in the run. There's quite a lot of things to do and see here on Brittle Hollow and the kind of surrounding bodies of planets and moons and things. Okay. We need to activate that. That's very important. And now I'm going to do a fairly tricky series of jumps here. And this is kind of the safer variant of what the real speedrunners do. Excellent. This is one of the really tricky ones. Here we go. Let's see if I can get it. Okay, good. That'll do. Still not the hardest. The single hardest jump in the game, in my opinion, is not far away. Here, I gotta read a bunch of stuff. This is one of the ones that I always have trouble remembering, which is why I have my notes. I do remember this one. First up, left, down. Excellent. Grab you. Make sure you look at that thing. Read this. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Plant. Okay, here it comes. This is the hardest jump in the game. And away we go! Oh, oh no. I messed it up. I messed up really bad. Hang on. Oh, okay. Actually, for a second I thought I might have been able to make it work. We can simply loop back and set a similar jump up again. There are other spots that I can get that jump to happen from. That's just the fastest since we're kind of already in the area. But it's really tricky. Basically, you have to like dodge that tree, which is my big problem, is that I bumped into the tree. And then you have to immediately move up so that you don't crash into... Oh, I just missed it. So you don't crash into that bridge that's there. And then you have to basically slingshot yourself around the black hole in such a way that you get where you're going. It's tricky. And but it is the easiest way to get to where I'm going. Like it's the fastest way. But like I said, I do have a couple other really one other major spot that I can try to make that jump from. That won't be as difficult to get to on its own. The question that I have now is how much time do I have to make this work? Let's go ahead and fuel up again. Because why not? Down we go. Let's see, what are my options now? Actually this might work. This is almost... It's almost what I tried to do normally. Oh, I didn't get quite the juice I needed. Okay. It's possible, though. It can be done. If I don't die to this... Whoa! Alright. Here we go. Whew, okay. We're pretty much safe now. Just need to bring it home. Okay, well, I'm gonna play this even safer than I normally would. It's been that kind of run. Don't want to risk it too much. Okay, we're good. All right, that is the most difficult spot to get to in the run easily. So that feels good to have that out of the way. That should be it for that. Just have a few more things to read here on Brittle Hollow, and then we can move on. I don't even remember which ones we need here, so I'm just going to get all of them for safety. Okay, and back to the menu. Okay, well, certainly not my best Brittle Hollow split, but we got it done. And one thing I do like about this game, if you're not super great at it, like, you know, you don't have everything down to, you don't have all the muscle memory and everything practiced to a super almost perfect degree. The game, the run, the 100% run anyway, kind of becomes a big like live problem solving game. Oh, hang on, let me think. We're doing the interloper split, which means we want to get up. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So like in situations like that where I missed that jump the first time, it's like, okay, well now I've fallen through the black hole. What are my options? Like, how am I gonna get back to where I need to go here? I'm debating. I'm gonna do it. Okay. There was a thing that I was supposed to have done at the beginning of the last split, but I forgot to, so I'm gonna do it now. Won't take very long. I guess it actually can be done at the beginning of the split too. It really doesn't matter, you just have to make sure that you do it at some point. That's the thing. Alright. And now we're going to the moon. The moon of our very own Timber Hearth. They call it the Addle Rock. Where is it? There it is. I want to be careful not to crash back into our home planet here. I want to land on this side. Yeah, right around here. Got a few things we need to read here on the moon. Again, don't worry too much about what any of this is or what it means. Or the nature of existence. Don't think about any of that stuff. Just enjoy the Russian, I guess. Enjoy the visuals and the music. Alright, so next we need to jump to the other side of the moon. It's really easy here to give yourself too much of a jump, and you can just kind of send yourself flying into space, which isn't the end of the world, but it is very slow. I think I gave it just a pretty solid little boost there. Seemed to be just enough. So we're good there. Let's go talk to our friend over here. Alright, see, I'm gonna go take a nap. Actually take a nap this time. So we can speed up time in the game's kind of simulated solar system to get everything to a certain point by just taking a nap at a campfire. There's a few places we can do that and a few reasons that we would want to. In this case, I'm going to be sleeping for until this clock says 6:45, I think, is what I want. I may go a little bit earlier just to be safe, but in my testing in practice runs, that's been pretty fine. You just really don't want to get there too late. And you'll see why. It's probably good enough. I need to get back to the ship. Honestly, one of my favorite things about playing this game normally is just jumping around on these really low gravity planets and like getting to just kind of, you just bound across planets and moons in one leap. Is just a really fun experience. It's just cool. Okay, there's our target, way over there. So the thing about this particular flight is it's really easy to screw up. We're trying to basically land on this comet thing, and it's tempting to go really fast towards it because it starts off so far away. But you also have to keep in mind the fact that it's coming towards you pretty quickly, and it's very, very easy to overshoot it. I'm being a little too cautious in this case, but it can be costly to try to go at this too fast. The other tricky thing about it is that we want to land on the comet's tail, ideally. Okay. That's pretty good. I've done much, much worse. Okay. We need to read this here. This is why we wanted to land on the tail. And now we're gonna jump all the way over to the face. And I think I was a little early, but that is fine. I would much rather be too early than too late. We're gonna hang out on this little patch of ice for a minute and just watch the solar system roll by. This is another thing that I absolutely love about this game is you don't even really need to like engage with the puzzles or stress about what's going on in the world. Sometimes you can just boot up the game and fly to a weird place in the solar system and just watch the stars. And it's relaxing and entertaining in a lot of ways. Alright, that's what we're waiting for. The timing ended up being pretty good. We didn't have to wait too long. Whoop. Okay, we're good. There's a very specific path you want to take through this place. And I'm not going to tell you why. Well, I guess I can kind of tell you why. It's because if we don't, then I'll die. And that's not useful here. Oh! Man, you usually don't take damage. This part's pretty fun because it's just kind of a slide. You kind of just get to fly through it almost without worry. Okay, so we've seen those things. We're gonna read this journal. And then we are done for that split. See, once we get out of Brittle Hollow, most of the splits become a lot more compact and manageable. This one coming up is the Ember Twin split, which is actually the next biggest, I would say. It does have a very cool trick, though. So for this one, we actually want to start by taking a nap for a few minutes. I'm actually going to just quickly tab out and scroll my notes, sorry. It's a complicated run. There's a lot to keep in mind. I need notes, okay? So yeah, 4:30 on this rest, and then we're going to wake up and fly to one of the Hourglass Twins. And you'll see why they're called the Hourglass Twins as soon as we get there. Don't forget to suit up. Very, very important that you remember to suit up. So this is actually one of the more interesting splits. We have a few pretty cool tricks that I'll see if I can show off to their fullest power, but they can be kind of finicky at times. Oh, we want to be going this way. And we will park the ship right about here. And just a couple of things. We want to take a look at this. Good. Alright, now back up. This part can be pretty dangerous if you're not careful or if you don't know what you're doing, but fortunately, I know what I'm doing some of the time. Here's a fun trick. I'm going to try to pull it off. I can't guarantee it'll work. It's not going to work that time. I'm going to give it one more shot. Because it does save a good amount of time, but if I do it too many more times, it's not going to be worth it. Okay, that's unfortunate. Basically, you can scout boost up through that sandfall, and that will save me having to take this whole kind of roundabout trip that I'm taking right now. Trying to be overly cautious here. Okay. And that's all we needed. So if we can do that trick that I just tried to do, then we actually jump out right here, because, I mean, here we are again. So you can see how much faster that would be if I were able to pull it off. But it's very tricky. You have to come in to the left of that stalactite. It's a pretty tight space that you're trying to squeeze yourself into. There we go. And the kind of scout boosting, jetpack boosting timing of it is pretty specific. Okay. So we are in a little bit of a time crunch here. It's not... We're pretty speedy, so we're not really up against it yet, but it is possible to take too long in this section and kind of force yourself to start over a little bit. At least you start this kind of... Not really start over, I guess. Just move on to the next thing. Have to restart your game and move on to the next set of goals. Really? Okay. Some bad boost usage there. That's my fault. Sorry, game. I apologize. Okay, we're going this way. Woo! I don't think I need to read that top one. I think I just need to read the first few on this one. I am going to read the top one anyway, just to be extra safe. But I'm pretty sure you don't actually need to. But we here at the Outer Wilds Ventures take safety very seriously, so that's why we did it anyway. Alright, let's read that. Okay. Now here we're going to set up a pretty cool trick by basically just putting my scout down on the surface out here. Ooh, this timing is interesting. Okay, wow, just made it. So yeah, we're going to leave our scout there. It's very important that we don't pick it up, because not having it here is going to enable us to do something pretty funny here in a second. Let's see this thing and make sure that we scan it. Okay. Cool. We gotta read some more text over here. Okay. After reading the text on this wall, there we go. We're going to get up on this rock right around here. Sorry, trying to angle it just right. I don't know how precise it really needs to be, but you do have to be in kind of a weird spot. Okay, here we go. Now, let's see if I can get it to bring me where I want it to go. Looking for a specific location. I believe I've just found it. So yeah, we've done another just insane out of bounds. There we go. Yeah, this is a very difficult location to get to. This is like, you spend a lot of time in the game trying to figure out how to get through here. Well, if you just, clip out of bounds, you can fly through the walls. It's not that hard, guys. Why didn't you think of that? That ought to do it. We have to read another one down here. It's this one that's on the floor. Just the first line of it, though. Now you can... I'm going to do this the safe way. I'm not going to risk it. You are able to kind of glitch back out into bounds if you take your scout away at the right time or something. You can kind of clip back through. It's I've kind of pulled it off one time, but then when I did that, like the gravity, the center of gravity that my character was being pulled towards was not on this planet, so I just got kind of pulled out into space, which was not helpful. Chirp. Okay, I think I'm still in a bit of a glitch state here. I thought it would fix after I picked up my scout. Maybe now that I've touched the sand, we're good. Chirp, why won't you talk to me? Yeah, I'm still like phasing in and out of things. The glitch is still on. What I don't know is why, because it should have been canceled by now. It may be that we have to come back and just talk to Chirp. This glitch may have... Okay, no, we're good. Okay. Just to be sure... I'm just going to say that I think we're fine. Okay. So now we're going to wait. We're going to take a little bit of a nap again. We're going to wait a few more minutes. I have to be careful, though, because it's possible to overshoot the time that you wait here, and there's a very specific line that we're looking for from Chirp. And it's even harder to spot that line if you don't read Russian. But we'll see how this goes. And he only says it at a specific point in the simulated, you know, time thing here. I'm gonna get up and see if... Yes, okay, that's the line. That's what we were looking for. And now we can go back to sleep and we will automatically wake up at the correct time now. So I'm not worried. There's just one more thing we need to do on this split. And then, well, a few more things we have to do in the rest of them. Okay, we've been woken up. Little Chirp. Goodbye, Chirp. I want to go to this planet. Oh, I forgot to fuel up. It's fine, actually. Oh, don't die. Okay, we're good. It should be... Do we need all of that? Okay, good. Okay, that's the Ember Twin split. Woo! Most of the hard parts of the game are done. That being said, this next part is also pretty hard. Well, I won't say it's especially hard, as much as it is dangerous. Back into the ship. Grab the suit. We have a couple things we need to do on Timberhearth before we go to our next destination. First thing is to stop here. Cool. And the next is we want to stop over here. Whoa, 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 whoa. I do need my ship for the majority of this split, so I'm hoping to not take any serious damage in the beginning. For the most part, you can repair your ship, but if the cockpit completely falls off, then, I mean, you're just out of luck, really. There are certain things that cannot be repaired. Gonna ride the geyser. That went up a little bit higher than I wanted, but that's okay. Still have one more place to check out on Timber Hearth before we head off. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is a place where I want to make sure I get a good jump, because it can significantly slow things down if I don't land here correctly. There we go. It's not difficult, it's just there's a few obstacles there, and there's a temptation to try to go too fast, because it's not that difficult, but you know. Just trying to play it safe once again. The jump back is much, much easier. Okay, and we're off. We are off to the Dark Bramble, which is a bit infamous. If you've played the game, you know why. And we're about to experience it right here and now. I'm going to be playing this extremely safely in some ways. There are faster ways to get through the Dark Bramble, but it's also very easy to die if you don't pull it off. And as we've seen, I'm by no means an expert runner here. So I'm going to be playing things relatively safely. Should be able to head on down here pretty easily, though. It shouldn't be that dangerous. Whoop! Unless I crash into the walls. Then it becomes significantly more dangerous. Okay. I mostly know where I'm going. I'm using the signal scope and things like that to just kind of, as a safety net, just guarantee that I'm not doing things wrong. Although now I am a little bit worried that... Whoop! A little bit worried. There we are. I knew I was going a little bit off. Here we are. This is the distress beacon we were looking for. Or, well, the escape pod and the distress beacon from it, or whatever. Okay. A little farther away from the thing that I should have stopped, but oh well. Now there's some combination of things you have to read in this. It's not like set in stone which you have to. I tend to just kind of glance at all of them. You know, again, just for safety. But it's that one's interesting because it's a combination. Like you have to read one or two lines from one thing and then one line from another, or you know, there's a number of different ways that you can do it, and it's also interesting because you know you have to contend with the kind of zero-G space that you're in that whole time. So you kind of want to plan on how much of each one do I want to read, based on how fast I'm moving and you know how difficult it's going to be for me to adjust and things like that. You're kind of always thinking about those sort of things when you're playing this game. For speedrunning it especially. Okay, we're here. We want to take a look at this stuff. We want to read this thing. And then we're going to take some pictures. Nice. Now here comes the difficult part. The dangerous part. Here we go. We're just gonna coast on through. So this is the part where there is a strat where you can go full speed and get past them in a way where these terrifying anglerfish monsters can't kill you. But it's hard. I haven't been able to do it. So I'm taking the very slow, very steady, very safe strat where I just use my residual momentum that I have going into that kind of portal to just coast to a safe-ish distance, which we should be in now. And then I actually do have a controller here at my side to give myself just the like slightest boost. I guess to give one thing away, these anglerfish things, they rely on sound. They're basically completely blind. So if you come in through with your engines blasting, they'll hear you and they'll come and kill you. So if you go slow, if you go quiet, you can sail right past them, which is what we did there. Alright, so that's the scary part done. We will have to do it again, I'm afraid. We're not quite out of the anglerfish woods yet. But we survived the first encounter, which is something to be happy about. Alright, now we're on some kind of big, important-looking spaceship. Again, I'm not taking questions or explaining anything that's going on. Go play the game. Oh. But rest assured, this is a very important place. Clone ship. Alright, we just have a couple of things we have to do left in this split. And let me make sure I've oriented myself correctly. Looks like this is the way to go. Ah, outside of the dark bramble. Feels good. I love not being in the dark bramble. Okay. Trying to go that way. That's a pretty good shot. That will get the job done. See ya, ship. Don't need you anymore. Here we go. I was looking for this jellyfish. That's all. Oh, and this recording. Now we have one more thing we need to do. We gotta go say hi to a long-lost friend. You have to be a little bit careful here because you can just slam into a wall and die if you're not careful at managing your speed. There are very many ways to die in this game. The game is not shy about killing you. It does go short of making fun of you for it, but it is kind of a classic adventure game in that way, I suppose. Hey, buddy! How's it going? Gotta say a few things to him, or sorry, them. Including this. And one last thing being, wait, yeah, that one. Okay. And that's the Dark Bramble split. This split coming up is very fun. This is the Sun Station split. The Sun Station, if you couldn't guess, is a station that orbits the sun very closely. It's pretty cool and difficult to get to. Here I want to rest for another 4.5 minutes. And this is just to kind of get the, as you saw, the hourglass twins. They're called the hourglass twins because one passes sand to the other, and that sand will gradually fill up. This basically is going to put the sand in a spot that's kind of advantageous for me. It gives me the quickest access to something that I would normally have to wait for, And then also, ideally, if I get there at the right time, which I should, makes actually getting to the spot that I'm trying to get to much easier. There we go. Yeah, so you can fly directly to the sun station and just land on it, if you are good enough at flying. And I am not even close to good enough at flying in this game to do that. But people do it, and like the top level speedrunners do it as part of the run. I don't, because again, it's really hard. Boink. Okay, I really didn't need to move the ship that much. I don't know why I did. Need to read that line. Okay, we didn't get here quite in time. Oop, gotta be careful. Didn't get here quite in time to make this super easy. If you get here early enough, you can just walk. Like, there's enough sand here in the building that you can just walk to the next area. But you can also just do what I did and kind of teleport, or not teleport, jetpack your way. Which I think is potentially the intended way to do it. I don't actually know. It's very, I mean, it's viable either way. Just that one is certainly easier than the other. Alright, here we are in the stun station. Oh my god, it's the sun. Whew. Okay, that little spacewalk there is honestly terrifying. It's really cool, and it's pretty quick, but if you mess up, you going into the sun. Alright, that should be it for the sun station. The split coming up is potentially my favorite one. It's the shortest, it's the silliest, and that's it. Those are the two reasons that I like it. We're gonna wake up, like every split before, we're gonna take the elevator up to our ship. We're gonna grab our spacesuit. We're not gonna sit down though. I'm gonna push this button right here. Whee! We're gonna eject the cockpit, which is in fact a button in the game. It's right next to the, it's right next to the chair, the pilot seat. You can do that at any time, and people, myself included, have done it accidentally. Just launch the cockpit from the ship into whatever is directly in front of it. In this case, we use that momentum to cross to the other side of the village pretty quickly. But it also does mean that the ship is completely useless for the rest of this split. Like we can no longer take off in that ship and use it to fly anywhere. It's done. So we're just going to go into this zero-G cave, which is basically a tutorial segment that you're meant to do in the beginning of the game. But we're doing it now because, you know, I do what I want when I want. No space exploration program can define what I do. Alright, and that's it. That's the split. That's the zero-G cave split. And now we've come to the final split. This one's long, but it's not particularly difficult, except for one part. I did mention that we'll have to go back through the dark bramble again, and this is the time when we'll have to do that. But first, we're going to take one more nap. This one's a bit of a longer nap. We're going to take 6.5 minutes. And that, again, is just... It's really more to do with the sand on the Hourglass Twins than anything else. I believe it does also put them in a position where they're kind of near ish to where we start, so it makes flying there easier, and then also getting into the particular spot we need to get into a little easier, which is time sensitive. So we'll see how I do. Don't forget to suit up. Don't crash into the moon. Very important step. Don't forget to not crash into the moon. Okay. Okay, probably not going to get the fastest cycle here. Oh. No, I got greedy. I don't think I'm going to get there in time. Nah, I just missed it. That's okay. We will simply have to wait for the next time around. In the meantime, let's just enjoy the stars a little bit more. There's the dark bramble. We're going back there soon. There's our home planet. Our own little blue marble of sorts. Okay, good. My ship is a safe distance away. Didn't get carried away by the sand pillar. That's always one thing I'm a little bit worried about in the back of my head is, did I park the ship far enough away from the sand? Looks like we're good. Hey, there's a sun station. We were just there. How cool. Brittle Hollow. Unfortunately, yeah, if you do miss the cycle here, it does take a minute for it to come back around. And the speedrun, or sorry, the world record speedrun does a cool thing where they fly their ship directly like under this bridge and kind of jam it in there, and they're able to quickly get over into this this teleporter at just the right time. It's very impressive. The movement overall in that run is just mind-blowing. Like, if you thought some of the stuff that I was doing in this game, or in this run, was cool, go watch the world record, because it's just another level of smooth. It's unbelievably, like, practiced and impressive to me. Alright, it's coming back around. I'll just get ready in my little nook here. We're in the place. We're at the location, doing the thing. Oh, please come up. There we go. Thank you. I'm gonna read you, and I'm gonna read you and you. There we go. Gravity just turned off. Don't worry about it. I need this thing. And to read the middle ring here. Cool. Alright, and now we're in go mode, as it were. Things get a little tense here for a moment. I have to be very careful that I don't die, otherwise it's a painful time loss. Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, that's fine. Where's the bramble at? Where are you at, bramble? Or are you on the other side? There it is. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let autopilot do its thing while I just do a little bit of a safety strat here. Alright, that's all. Alright, we're gonna cancel autopilot before it puts me into the sun. I basically just activated a waypoint marker to just make sure that I, have the kind of orientation. It is a set path that you have to follow to get to where we're going. But I find, especially in the heat of a run, it's easy to get disoriented, or if you bump into a wall, get turned around, or whatever the case may be. I like to just kind of set that waypoint for situations when I'm trying to be extra safe. Alright, here we go. Back into the bramble. I think we should be able to just fly directly towards this. I'm being a little overly cautious. It's fine. Okay. And here we're gonna do our little coasty coast. I'm not gonna make a sound. Everyone shush. Shush, shush, shush. Chat. Be quiet. Shush. Don't wake the anglerfish. It seems that 1.6 kilometers is usually safe enough to start putting on a little bit of the engine. But I kind of like to do a quick spin around, just see how close they are. That's pretty good. I think we're pretty good here. Let's put on a little boost. Okay. Alright, the scary part is over. We're done. It's all easy from here. There's nothing more for me to mess up. We've made it. There is one more trick that I can try to do. I'm not going to try to do it because I've never pulled it off, and there is the slightest risk that it could kill me and thus make me have to redo this whole segment. So just not going to do it. Just not doing it. It is a cool trick though, and it does save a fairly substantial amount of time. But like I said, I've never even successfully pulled it off. I've tried almost every run that I've done. Let's go down here. Just need to read the first entry of this. Oh, nope, I meant to go back. Alright, and punch it. We have entered the end game now. It's a little bit more walking simmy from here on out. And I talked about the gravity earlier when we were on Giant Steep, when it was like 1.8, 1.9 times Timber Heart's gravity. The gravity in this place is 2.4 times, so walking is an absolute slog. The trick that I was referring to that I didn't end up attempting is if you're quick enough to jump through the door that you come in through to enter that room. After you teleport the ship, you activate that thing that we did. You can actually clip through the door and fly through space to get to the southern pole, I guess, of this thing that we're trying to go to right now. And it's way faster because you don't have to deal with all this crazy gravity, and you're not having to do limited scout boosts like I am here to get over there. But again, it's just really difficult. It's just one of those things that I've not been able to replicate yet. But if any of this looks interesting to you, if you've played the game and the speedrun looks interesting to you, absolutely look into it. It's really fun. There's just an incredible amount of tech up and down, just throughout the whole game, and it's very well documented. The community seems pretty cool and fun. Check it out. It's a very, very interesting speed game, and of course, one of my favorite casual experiences of all time. So if you haven't played it, go play it. I know there's a faster way to get up here, but I don't know it. And like I said, this is the end game, so if you really don't want the ending kind of cinematic stuff spoiled for you, now is the time to avert your eyes, I suppose. But it really, without context for what's happening, I truly don't believe it gives all that much away. But there are some very neat visuals and things that are worth seeing. Where are we at? Here we go. I don't believe there's anything that we can do to make this section go faster, so we're just going to take a nice relaxing stroll through the star redwood forest. Where are all the stars going? Where are you at, buddy? Come on. Again, I'm not taking questions about what's going on here, just kind of enjoy the ride. Although I will say, there is a fun trick that I can do here. As you can kind of tell, we're basically going around and collecting these instruments. Oh, there it is. Oh, I lost it. And you can grab this one from way far away. Oh, come on, I had it. If you look in just the right precise spot with the signal scope, and it is kind of worth taking the time to do it, because otherwise you have to play like basically a little mini game to get it. Oh, come on. Okay, hang on. stand. I know I want to stand close to Ryback here. Oh, come on. Come on. Where are you, you stupid little bongos? Oh, this is irritating. I had it too. Like, it showed up so early. This normally does take me a while. Oh, it's such a cool trick too. Like, I know it doesn't look like it, but it genuinely is a cool thing that you can even do this. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Oh, jeez. Okay, maybe a little bit over right here. The position on it is weird. It's gonna show up. It's like a little bit above where the actual instrument itself is, which is why I'm not trying to get to the full circle, although... Yeah, so this is where it wants me to go. In fact, maybe if I center it on that, and then I just go straight up from here. Oh, what are we doing? Game! Okay, you know what? We'll come back to that one. There's other stuff that we can go pick up. I've never had it do that though, where I've like found it immediately and then struggled to get back to it for so long. That's pretty tough. So we have two instruments in this direction, but I want this one. Okay. I think you can technically... I don't know if you have to go look at each of those one by one. I think you can just find this by flying up here, if you know what you're doing better than I do. Okay, and we'll go do Solanums next. Right, look up, and then... Cool, got that one. Okay, let's give this another shot. Shirt is the last one we're missing. It's been so long since I've actually done this the correct way that I kind of just want to do it this way out of spite. Well, that may not be the smartest thing to do. You may just have to go for it. Okay, well. Yeah, alright, well let's just let's try to do this the old-fashioned way. So yeah, we have to, like... What is it? Do we look at this thing through this? Does that matter? Can't remember. Or do we just have to fly up there? Yeah, I don't remember what the trick is. That's bad. Any way I could just get this to show up for me? No? Not gonna help me out, game? Alright, that's fine. Figure this out. Oh, there it is. That's all I had to do. You can just do that from farther away, basically. And it's cool. Okay, I don't think it matters with order. We're just gonna get the party started here. I missed it. There we go. And time is going to be coming up basically when the entire screen goes white. But we get engulfed by the Big Bang here. I could technically speed it up by doing this, maybe? But yeah, that's Outer Wilds. That's Outer Wilds 100%. And time. Whew, okay, thanks everyone for sticking with me on that one. That was a rocky rocky run, but we got through it. I hope everyone found it enjoyable. That's again, favorite game of mine. If you haven't played it before, please do. It's fantastic. I suppose I can one more thing that we can do, and I know I was basically overestimate on that. But I can go and just verify the run real quick, and I can kind of give my shout outs and things while I do that. Shout outs to the entire Speedy Adventures Discord community and everyone who runs and plays these games. Special shout out to Lemming for putting this whole thing together and wrangling everyone into making a semi-functional event. I think it went pretty well, all things considered, and I'm glad that I could have played a part in it. Thanks to you, Frozen Spade, for all of your various things that you've done, both in this run and outside, just helping me kind of get acquainted with the scene and learn the ropes of speedrunning and all that. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. That's the Speedy Adventures minithon, folks.
Alrighty, we did it. We made it to the end. Shout outs to everybody who's been here the whole time.
So I'm just gonna real quick as we do this. Sorry, if
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go up to the ship's log here, and I'm gonna hope that I didn't miss anything. We don't have to go fully one by one as the verification kind of requires. I'm just gonna glance and see if we see any orange asterisks around. Oh, yep, there's one. Where are we at here? Oh, I know which one this is too. There's one line of dialogue that I didn't translate. So, oops. But, close enough. Good enough for me.
All right, we got the 99% run complete.
99% run.
All right, I'm going to bring us over to this other scene, and then we're going to do our shout-outs and a wrap-up, and we're going to call it Successful Marathon.